Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. We were having a few issues with our Facebook Live, but if you want to tune into YouTube, we're also streaming on there as well now. So feel free to take a look there if you want to send us any comments, have any questions about the weather, especially as we start talking about Erin yet again today.
Yep.
Especially because we will be starting to see more of those impacts later tonight into tomorrow, especially along the coast.
Coastal storm, coastal storm. Inland, you're hardly going to know what's out there, but there's a buzz. Everybody's talking about Erin, and of course, everybody's wondering, will I get impacted? If you live Highway 17 inland, no. Bottom line, no. Clouds, yes. Very little rain. Winds hardly get over 30. No tornado risk. No damaging winds. Good. On the beaches, it's the persistent winds over 48 hours or so that brings the big surf in, brings water level rises in. The typical coastal components, aspects of a big offshore storm. And I say that because nor'easters bring these similar kind of conditions as well. Sometimes, in this case, it's a tropical system, Erin the name. And I'll talk about what I expect for you guys on the coast, how high the waters may get. We'll dig into all that in just a sec.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Before we get into it, obviously with Erin making some big impacts along the coastline, could put a little bit of a dip on people's beach trips this week, especially as I know a lot of kids are going back to school next week. So if you manage to go out to the coast for the beach, probably not a good idea at all to be in that water.
Not through Friday.
Yeah.
But the weekend, however, we may trend pretty good.
Okay.
Not definitely, but certainly on the sand we'll be fine. The question for the weekend, beach-wise, will those rip current risks be coming down enough to get in there? And I think it will, but I can't commit to that yet. But you're right. I mean, it's a big beach weekend.
Right.
Kids go to school next week. It's like, let's get that last beach weekend in. I think we're going to be generally okay. The rip current risk is the one thing we got to watch. Okay,
well, we're going to take a look at this story. I know our Stephen Glover was out on the Crystal Coast yesterday and spoke to some people who were still trying to, get their last minute waves in, a few surfers out there. We're going to take a look at what they had to say about the waters.
Flying high at Pine Knoll Shore, signaling that beach is closed to swimming as the area braces for Hurricane Erin's impacts. The waves even becoming too strong for some surfers coming.
It's honestly, the waves are just massive and they're perfect, honestly. But right now it's starting to get a little bit worse, and I wouldn't recommend anyone honestly going out there if you have no experience.
The Atlantic Beach Fire Department says it's never worth the risk to dive in.
Really, actually, it's beautiful. So that's what kind of worries me from my standpoint, is because if I think it's beautiful and I'm experienced enough to know what's going on out there, then the layperson is going to think the ocean looks great and looks very inviting. And we want those folks to know that the ocean is not inviting right now unless you're experienced in that area.
Single red flags are flying in Atlantic Beach, which means swimming is not advisable as rip currents strengthen. High tides and ocean surf has also led the Atlantic Beach Fire Department to take down some lifeguard towers and move some back.
So it creates a lot of problems. And so we obviously advise anyone that's thinking about just going out and kind of swimming today to not be in the water.
Florida native Amy Dennison says she is heeding the warnings.
We don't have no plans of going out in the water. We might stick our toes in it, but you have to take it very seriously, the rip current, because it's very unpredictable.
All right, so Jim, I know you have a lot to talk about with Erin, especially as some of those core impacts are going to be starting later tonight into tomorrow.
Yeah, the main impacts, you're right, after midnight today, tomorrow morning through lunchtime. And I talked about the beach weekend. I mean, the next several days, stay off the beaches. Yeah. Dangerous surf, dangerous rip currents, strong winds. Not beach weather, period. It's the weekend I think we'll start getting better. So let's dig into the latest on Erin. We'll show you the latest satellite imagery on the storms. Tracking, making its closest pass by here around sunrise or mid-morning tomorrow. Erin right now is about 500 miles plus to the southeast of Hatteras. So there's the storm moving almost due north or northwest, but turning more northerly now, and that's good to see, as expected. North at 13, the latest direction from the Hurricane Center. Winds have been holding near 100 through the overnight. They may try to come back up a little bit, but not a lot more. Right now we're looking at maybe 110 sustained on the winds when it makes its closest pass tomorrow morning. Those 100-mile-an-hour winds way off the coast. You won't see anything like that on shore, but you will likely see some 50-mile-an-hour gusts along the Outer Banks, 40 on the Crystal Coast. Look at that thing racing away tomorrow night into Friday. Long gone by Friday. This is the radar data, and there we are, 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can see none of that rain coming ashore, and there may be a shower or two coming ashore, but generally this is not a rain event at all. Isolated showers, maybe sounds to beaches, and that's all I'm seeing. 7 a.m. tomorrow, center of the storm, almost due east of Hatteras by about 200 miles at its closest around sunrise, and then this thing starts to lift and pull away tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. We say adios and thank you. I'm going to go ahead and say it now because the model's so locked in. Thank you for not crossing our coast. We can certainly breathe a sigh of relief that we're not dealing with the eye of that storm and everything that comes with it. All right, tropical storm warnings are up for the coast and the Sounds. The Albemarle and Pamlico Sounds, coastal areas under tropical storm warnings as we watch those winds drive that surf in. Storm surge warnings, water level rises generally 2 to 4 above normal. That's through Friday. The winds come down late tomorrow night. It takes longer for the seas to come back to normal. So still on Friday, high tides, sunrise, sunset, more cycles of potential flooding into Friday. And again, hopefully we can get that threat out of here into Saturday. Let's watch the winds, folks. There's lunchtime today. That looks pretty good, 15 to 25. As we get out of work, we're headed home, starting to hit 30 on the coast. Inland winds, they're not showing much above 30 anywhere now. Those numbers have come down a little bit. Here's the overnight. The beaches, on the other hand, those stronger winds hitting 50 in the morning. You can see the inland winds, mid-20s, nearing 30, maybe mid-morning tomorrow, upper 20s to 30. Lunchtime, and again, the beaches, 40 to 50. Hatteras, maybe some mid-50s to Avon, Rodanthe, Waves, Salvo, Ocracoke as well. Tomorrow evening, winds start to come down nicely. By the time we get into the overnight, there's not much left there. These are max winds, by the way, maximum. Friday morning, 15, maybe 20 on the coast, so the winds are done. Potential storm surge values, water level rise numbers, 1 to 3 from coastal Onslow County into Carteret County. Reasonable, I'd say. The red shading, that's 2 to 4 as you go east of Cape Lookout. Come back to that in a sec. The Neuse River, as the Pamlico Sound waters get driven southward, they start to push back into the river, driving water levels generally maybe around 2 feet, give or take. Pamlico River, the orientation west to east is not going to get as much of that push from the Pamlico as they will up the Neuse. That's why it's a lower forecast there, a 1 to 2. Should cover you guys up the Pungo River as well. And then back further north towards the Albemarle Sound, north wind drives the water southbound, 2 to 3 maybe, give or take, as you get over the Alligator River. And then out to the Outer Banks, 2 to 4 generally on that surge as we head into tomorrow. Again, I think the sound side surge pushing 3 to 4 for Ocracoke, maybe late tomorrow night. That's where the biggest rises will be. Impacts again, inland gusts to 30, no big deal. Outer Banks 50, give or take. Tomorrow morning, the core of the winds to lunchtime. Crystal Coast around 40. Mentioned the big surf, 10 to 15 plus on some of the waves. A lot of beach erosion, Highway 12 overwash at times as we head into late tonight through lunchtime tomorrow. First alert weather status tonight, tomorrow for Erin's impacts. Anybody on the coast, be safe, be smart. Don't get in the water. Let this thing get out of here. It will. Friday into Saturday, getting much better. Plenty of sunshine, low to mid-80s, drier air, mid-60s at night. Little rain chance Sunday into Monday, not much there. And then another push of cooler air. In fact, right now I'm seeing upper 70s next Wednesday, 61 Tuesday night of next week. Average could be a few upper 50s. I don't know the last time I said that in August. Potential upper 50s. If we get there, that will be record lows for many areas, potentially in the middle of next week. That's good to say in the middle of summer.
I know, it's funny to think, just not too long ago, a few weeks ago, we were talking about those near record highs. We're all blazing under this heat.
Heat
And now-
advisories, heat warnings.
Yeah. And now we're talking about
Yeah.
potentially light jacket weather.
And it will be,
Yeah.
legitimate potential light jacket weather. Some of those sunrises, maybe Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning of next week. I may be retracting all that. The models start flopping back, but I'm getting pretty good agreement. I like what I'm seeing in the middle of next week. Delightful potential air. Got to get through Erin first. Short term, danger on the beaches late tonight, tomorrow. Big surf, dangerous rips, beach erosion. Be careful out there until we kick this storm out of here.
All right, we'll be back again at 8 a.m. for another news and weather update. Hopefully our Facebook works this time, but yet again, you can also check us out on YouTube now at WITN-TV, and then, of course, on our app. We'll see you then. Have a good one.